Everywhere you look right now, people are screaming about start an AI agency. Scroll through Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and even the YouTube ads that you're seeing. And everyone's talking about automate your business and make $10,000 a month. And like, it sounds good, but here's the truth that nobody really wants to tell you, okay? AI agencies are already saturated and they're fragile and they're not real business models for 2025 if you want something that you can truly scale, all right? The barrier to entry is zero. Anyone can throw together a Canva logo, plug a couple tools into Zapier, and then call themselves an AI consultant, okay? And that's why business owners are rolling their eyes when they hear another fucking kid pitch them, oh, AI appointment setting. They've gotten the same DM from 20 different people this week, all right? So even if you somehow do close a deal, the client retention is terrible. Why? Because what you're selling is a tool, all right? And that tool is something they can build or buy themselves. It's not tied to revenue, all right? And it's not something that they can live without. And that's why most of these so-called AI agencies are out of business in 60 days. So instead of falling for the hype, I want to show you something that I did differently, okay? I went deep into a business model that's quietly making hundreds of thousands of dollars every single day for people in my industry. And the problem is that most people have not even looked into this business model, okay? And this business model is called pay per call, all right? So it's how I scaled into $200,000 plus months, while everybody else on the AI automation side is still begging for $2,000 a month retainers or $20,000 AI agents that it's very fucking difficult to sell. Okay? It's how I'm making thousands of dollars every single day right now while actually getting results for my clients. All right. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through why pay-per-call is the real move in 2025, how to structure it from scratch, and how to scale into a life-changing business. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is why AI agencies are broken. All right. The first major problem is the fact that everyone offers the same fucking service. Right? We've all heard the pitch already, like AI outreach, okay, with outbound dialing, which is not even that fucking compliant, mind you. Chatbots, which are not that fucking cool, okay? ManyChat has been around forever, and like, sure, it can have a little bit more of a conversation, but like most of the chatbot scene has already worked really well, all right? Customer service, bro, very inexpensive virtual assistants can do just as good of a job. Like, use them my entire career, they work amazing, and they don't have serious hallucination issues like a lot of AIs do, all right? So the reality is the AI model, it's a commodity with very little moat, right? It's not difficult to start one of these agencies. And the thing is businesses like mine, including myself, businesses are getting pitched by 20 different people, all offering the same service that can all be automated with a virtual assistant. And I like my virtual assistants because we get to work together and I build a relationship with them, and I'm actually like providing them a way for them to make money well and consistently, and they're not worried. So like, I'm actually like helping them, right? And sure, I could quote unquote replace them with AI that has a lot of issues. And like, why would I do that when I could just use the people that I've built relationships with for years? So really your target demographic is not the people that have been in business forever, right? The target demographic is for younger businesses. Well, what's the problem with younger businesses? We already know they fail. So you set up a business model fixing issues for people that have small businesses and most likely are going to fail. What does that mean about your clients? The retention's not going to be great. So now you guys are building a business model with the hope that clients who have always had poor retention, you're hoping that they will have better retention, right? It's just like, it's a model that's not poised for success. And so you guys, if you want to build a new business, it's really important that you build one that actually has the potential to grow $100, $200, $500,000 a month, and maybe even more if that's your goal, right? So the high churn rate of these businesses actually creates a model that's very fucking difficult for you to scale to hit those numbers, okay? And another big problem, right? The reason why pay-per-call is the opposite is because when you pitch pay-per-call, you are essentially pitching revenue. When you pitch AI, you're pitching a new cost that they're going to save money on, but it's still a cost. All right. And when businesses start going through difficult times in their businesses, right? When shit gets tight, what's the first thing to get cut? First thing to get cut is the things that cost them money, right? Even if your tool essentially provides efficiency, it's still going to get cut first compared to, not saying it's going to get cut, but it's going to get cut first before what I do, which is provide them leads so that they can make more money. If what I'm doing is providing them more traffic for their salespeople to get more sales, sales. They will not cut me before they cut you if you are an AI consultant, because you are providing them efficiency. You are helping them save money. Sure, that's great. I'm helping them make money. So who's going to get cut first? The guy that makes the money or saves the money? Probably the guy that saves the money, right? Now, the thing about pay-per-call, right? What is pay-per-call? So pay-per-call is a model where you're selling leads on a per call basis, not on a retainer. So you're not going to someone saying, hey, for $5,000 a month, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. No. What you're telling them is you're saying, listen, I'm going to send you a lead, and every one of those leads is going to be $20. All right. Now, your goal is to get 1 out of 10 of those leads to turn into a sale. And if you do that, you're going to make a shit ton of money. Okay. And then I sell those leads for $20. I go back to the guys that generate those leads, the lead generators, right? And in this case, I'm acting as a broker. So I go back to my lead generators. I'm like, yo, guys, I can buy these leads from you for $15. Can I resell them for 20? They're like, sounds good. I'm like, amazing. Let's do it. I go back to the client and I say, listen, I'm going to sell you these calls for $20. Period. It's going to be on a 60-second duration. Now, for those of you that don't know what duration is, that means if I send you a phone call, a lead in the form of a phone call, somebody sees an advertisement, it says, call now to get a new life insurance policy. They call in, the person picks up the phone. It's going to be $20 for 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds on that phone call to determine if you think that that is a qualified lead or not. So they have those 30 seconds. If they determine that it's a qualified lead, they're going to keep having that sales conversation. Now, could they dump every single one of those calls and me not make money? Of course. And then I fire them as a client, period. People a lot of times will get tripped up about that. Well, what happens if they just take all the calls and then, and they just dump every one of them? Turn them off. Go find another client. Because the reality is you need to set that expectation. Like, yo, homie, I'm going to send you these calls. And if you dump every one of them, I'm not going to keep sending you calls. And, sure, you can dump 10 calls on me and then we don't do business together. That sucks. Or we can really build something. And because we really build that something, we can do business for years and make tons and tons of money together. And usually when you frame it like that, the buyers, especially good ones, if you do a good job in finding buyers, the buyers will understand that and will want to reciprocate the same energy, because everybody in business just wants to make money. We're not in business so that we can be in business. We're in business so that we can make money. Let's be honest. And so when you sell pay-per-call, it's actually really fucking easy to sell it. Very easy to sell in comparison to something like AI bots, which again is an expense, right? So it doesn't take a lot of time to convince these people like, oh, hey, are you sure you don't want to buy this? It can save you all this money. Nah, it's more like, hey, you're already buying leads, all right? You're probably already buying leads from like 3 different people. You're probably buying leads from your internal team that's generating leads internally, costing you a shit ton of money. You don't even know the direct ROI on that because you got a marketing manager that doesn't show up every day to work. You got a guy that runs your Facebook ads that lives across the world. You're hoping to God he's actually doing his job to the best of his ability, right? You got a creative team. You're using maybe an AI to generate you a bunch of ad creatives which you don't know are good. All of these things have costs before we even talk about the fucking ad spend, right? Whereas with pay-per-call, it's like, yo, I bought 20 calls yesterday. Each call was $20. That's $400 in spend. I got 4 sales from it. That means it costs me $100 to get a sale. Easy. I can easily see, did I make a return on my investment or did I not? Easy compared to a retainer model, right? Oh yeah, we got to be locked in for 90 days and hope to God on the other side of it, we're going to make you money. Bro, hell no. We're not doing that. We're not doing no 90-day hope to God that we're going to make you some money back on your ad spend and focus on our cost per impression going down. Fuck no. No, we're only talking about you bought $400 in calls yesterday. You closed 4 sales. You have a $100 cost per acquisition. Let's do it again tomorrow. And then again and again and again. And guess what, Mr. Buyer? You need to get more sales agents so that you can buy more of my calls. Very easy. That's how you scale a pay-per-call agency. You do good with one of your clients and you tell them to grow his company. Then he grows the company, then you make more money. Super fucking simple. Super simple, right? So the first thing when you get started in pay-per-call is you got to pick your niche, right? And so what happens a lot of times, people will come into my community and they'll be like, oh, I really want to do this, but I don't know where to start, right? And then, we get on a 1-hour consulting call and I basically help them figure out what it is that they should be doing right now, no matter if that's pay-per-call or not. And I pretty much tell every client that gets on a 1-hour consulting call with me before we even get started, I'm like, yo, this call is to serve you. I'm not going to be here trying to pitch you any upsells. I'm not going to be in here trying to pitch you why you should do pay-per-call. If anything, I might even try to talk you out of doing pay per call. And the reason why is because I want to see if you're actually fucking down to party, right? A lot of people will be like, oh yeah, I want to do this. I really want to do this. They get on a call, we pick a fucking niche, they move forward, and then I never hear from them again. And I'm like, what happened? Oh, I got busy doing this and I decided I wanted to do this instead. Okay, shut the hell up, right? I don't have time to waste trying to help somebody who can't even help himself, right? So the reality is, first thing you got to do is pick your niche, all right? How do you pick your niche? You just pick one. And really the best way to do it is just find a client that you want to serve. So let's say, hey, I really like solar. All right, let's do solar. So you get started with solar. Solar is probably not the best. It's actually definitely not the best vertical to get started in right now because most people are moving away due to the tax credits, right? But let's just say it's 2020. Solar is absolutely popping off. Let's do motherfucking solar. Cool. Okay, we chose the niche, right? And part of the way to figure out the niche is like, where's the market at, right? Is the market liking solar right now? Is the market liking insurance? Is the CPMs on Facebook low for insurance compared to home services, window replacement, fucking tax debt? Right? Like there's so many, there are dozens and dozens of verticals that are available for pay-per-call. Home services, emergency services, locksmith, hey, I broke my tooth, emergency dental calls. Like there are literally dozens of inbound call verticals, right? So the first thing we want to do is we want to pick our niche, okay? Then what you want to do is you need to find the publishers, okay? Now the best way to find publishers, we could go into the whole thing. And again, if you want to learn how to do it, I have a course, it's $100, right? It's literally dog shit cheap. It used to be $27 a month. Now it's $100 a month. And I have a community of people that are in there where you can find publishers for whatever offers you want, right? So, and that's what I built. There's like over 400 people in there as we speak. And I'm only wanting to grow up with good, high quality people. So the first thing you want to do is you want to secure your publishers. The publishers are the lead generators. Those are the guys that actually generate the inbound phone calls, right? Once you find people that are actually able to generate those inbound phone calls, then you want to go and find the distribution. So you have the production locked up, then you need distribution. What's distribution? Distribution is the buyers. Okay. Now, the main reason, a lot of times people will ask me, they're like, well, bro, shouldn't I find the buyers first? Absolutely fucking not. And here's why. If you are a car salesman, right? And you have a fucking lot full of Kias, all you sell is Kias, and you're brand new on this lot, and a potential buyer walks in the door and says, hey, I'm looking for a Toyota. And you're like, oh, dude, perfect. I got you. We sell great Toyotas. And they're like, all right, where are they? And you're like, fuck, we don't have Toyotas. Now, this buyer's like, bro, you don't even know what the hell you're selling? Why the fuck would I buy from you when you literally don't even know what you have to sell? It's the same thing with pay-per-call. If you go to a buyer and you're like, hey, I sell final expense calls. And they're like, okay, cool. How are they generated? And you're like, I think Facebook. And then you're like, I don't fucking know. And then they're like, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Like, you won't even get to the part where they sign contracts so that you can start selling them calls because you clearly don't know what the fuck you're doing. You got to know what you're doing. So again, find your supply chain first. Then you find the distribution. Then you set up the call tracking. Very simple. Use retriever.com, RETREAVER.com, retriever.com. I strongly recommend Retriever to everybody that I do business with because Retriever is fucking fire, and Retriever is a great team. And then you manage your margins, right? Like again, $15 to start. Maybe you're paying $15 a call to start. You're selling them for $20. Maybe you go back after a month because there's really good performance. You tell your buyer, hey, Mr. Buyer, I'm going to have to increase you to $25 a call. And then they're like, all right, sounds good. And then now you're making $10. Or maybe you go back to your lead generator and you're like, hey, bro, I actually need to pay you 10 instead of 15. And then they're like, all right, fuck it, pay me 10. And then you buy it for 10, right? Or you go find another buyer. You keep paying 15 for that first buyer, but then you go and find another buyer that you can actually afford to go back to your lead generator and be like, hey, I'm going to keep paying you 15 for this current buyer, but I've got another buyer I can only pay you 10. Do you want it? And then they're like, yeah. And then now you have another buyer that you're now making $10 per call on, which is a much obviously larger spread. It's twice as much. So that's significantly better, right? So why businesses love this model? Okay, businesses love this model because traditional marketing agencies pitch the same old bullshit. $3,000 per month retainer. We have to stay on for 90 days. Hope to God we get results. That's all bullshit. Nobody can wait 90 days. Nobody wants to wait 90 days. When we have something to do, let's do it, and let's do it as quickly as fucking possible. Okay. Pay-per-call people, myself, I will show my clients results within 24 fucking hours. We turn on calls. They're gonna spend, let's say, $1,000 on calls for the first day. Again, like I said, if they get enough sales in that $1,000 spend, they're gonna know right then and there, all right, either I suck as a salesperson because I listen to my calls and I'm fumbling, or these calls suck. That's the reason why I'm not making money. Thank God I have good fucking calls because I rarely get people that don't perform well. And then when they don't perform well, because because we've been doing this for almost a fucking decade, I'm 99% sure it's not because it's my damn calls. So we listen to calls, we review it with the client, we're like, this is where you fumbled, and they're like, yeah, that makes sense, right? So every new inbound phone call that we sell is a shot for them at a potential new client. Because it's a shot for them at a potential new client, they're always interested in taking the next call, because you're gonna have mixed in laydowns. You're gonna have people that just call in and they simply just want to buy a policy right here, right now. They don't even really care about the price. They just want it because they need it. And that's why we are here to stay, is because we are a revenue generator for them. Sure, are we a cost center? Yes, it costs money to work with us. However, we also help them make more money. And because we help them make more money, they're always focused on what's the next call, not on shit, should I probably clip this, right? Again, unless you as a performance marketer suck, then you're not going to do it. So now let's talk about scaling up to $200,000 a month, okay? In order for you to do that, it's really quite simple. It's really, really simple, okay? You test out a buyer. Let's say you have a $10 spread. Let's just keep it super simple. Let's say you have a $10 spread. Now, what I mean by spread is that's your margin. You're buying it for 20, you're selling it for 30, okay? So you find a buyer, you tell them, hey, I'm gonna sell you these calls for 30 bucks on a 60-second duration. You go to your publisher, hey, I'm gonna buy these calls from your publisher, aka the lead generator, aka the supply chain. Hey, I'm gonna buy these calls for $20 a call. And they say, all right, great. Now you set it up, you set it up at a 50 call per day test. That's $500 a day just to test and profit for you, mind you. 50 calls times $10 a billable, it's $500 a day, right? You test it there. In revenue, $30, because that's what you're charging, 30 times 50 is 1,500. Yeah, 1,500 in sped, right? So that's $1,500 a day. 1,500 times 5 days, $7,500 a week. $7,500 that's $30,000 a month from one client on a test. And yes, 50 calls a day is definitely a test. There's nothing crazy. 50 calls a day is not a lot, right? Now we can talk about that same client who has, let's say, 50 agents, which is not an uncommon sales floor. So you have 50 agents. Like when I say uncommon, I mean there's people with thousands of salespeople, right? So again, you got 50 salespeople. We tested at 50 calls a day. Now they say, dude, your calls are great. Let's grow this to 500 billables a day. 500 billables a day times 30 calls a day. That's a lot of cash. Times 5 days a week, times 4 weeks a month. That's how we scale to $200,000 months. And the thing is as long as your traffic stays exactly the same and you can scale your Meta or Google or YouTube campaigns, right? Then you can maintain that traffic quality. If you can maintain the traffic quality, you can simply scale. And when you scale, that's where all the money makes, right? And why AI plays a role still. AI is an infrastructure, okay? AI is not a product. We use it to score leads, all right? We'll use it to qualify calls. We'll even use it sometimes to route calls, okay? The product is revenue. All right. The phone, like my product is revenue. Okay. The phone ringing with a ready to buy customer, somebody that's genuinely interested in buying their specific product or service. Okay. The model is future proof. Okay. My pay-per-call model is literally future proof. And the reason why is because businesses will cut chatbots when shit gets tight. They will not cut the revenue generator. They will not do that. Okay. So the craziest part about this whole fucking model is really it doesn't come down to how well you do, right? You do have to perform well because that's super fucking important. But the number one most important part about the game of pay-per-call is only one factor, and that is your relationship. There are clients that I serve that I perform less well with, and there's clients that other people perform really well with. And those people and my client do not have as good of a relationship as me with my client. And so because of that, my client will prefer to work with me, even though my calls may not perform better because they like me more. And that is just how this game works, right? And that is how most broker games work, right? Even like a fucking stockbroker, right? If you trust your stockbroker, when shit goes down and you're not making money with a stockbroker and you call him up like, hey homie, man, I don't know, this is concerning. He's like, hey, I got you, right? And they're like, yeah. And they rock with you. Compared to, nah, man, fuck this, close the stock. I'm going with this guy over here, right? I don't even know this guy. I've never done business with him before, but he said he can do it. Like, are there going to be those people? Yeah. But the big dogs and the people that really care about the relationship and maintaining that relationship, they're not going to care about the other guys. They're going to want to build that relationship, maintain that relationship, grow that relationship, okay? Here's the thing. You can keep chasing AI and trying to find, some new AI niche that you can sell, or you can do something that's literally tried and true and proven, and that's pay-per-call, okay? Pay-per-call has been around for decades. It will continue to be around for decades. It's not going anywhere, all right? Pay-per-call, pay-per-lead, anything in the affiliate space as you're generating traffic for these 10-figure companies, okay? If you want my exact systems, okay, how we do affiliate, onboarding, how we seek affiliates, how we find buyers, all that stuff, and you want a in-depth perspective into it, just join my course, okay? It's $100. It doesn't even fucking matter. You'll be able to learn how the people do it at scale, all right? You'll be able to learn what processes go in place to ensure that there's a smooth transaction, how it's easy, how you don't have to worry too much about it, okay? So the reality is this, whether you join or you don't, all good, the opportunity's in front of you. I built this for you. I want to continue to grow it for you and for the people that are in the group. If you want to hop in, outstanding. I would love to see you in there. If not, all good. I would love to, build a relationship with you somehow in the future, okay? So the question is this, are you going to chase hype? Are you going to try to find the next AI opportunity, or are you going to build something real? All right, I'll see you in the next one.